1. In the heart of the Texan countryside lies the infamous Blakely Manor, an eerie mansion known for its spine-chilling tales and ghostly apparitions. Constructed in 1870 by the enigmatic businessman Josiah Blakely, the mansion was intended to be a grandiose display of his wealth and status. However, Josiah's sudden and mysterious death within its walls marked the beginning of a long history of strange occurrences. Over the years, Blakely Manor fell into disrepair, its walls bearing silent witness to countless unexplained events. Whispers in the dead of night, objects moving on their own, and an overpowering stench of decay. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the house, claiming it was cursed. Despite its dilapidated state, no one dared to buy it, let alone demolish or renovate it. For 50 years, Blakely Manor remained abandoned, a sinister landmark in an otherwise peaceful town. Drawn by curiosity and the allure of the unknown, college students Mark and Lisa decided to spend a night in the notorious Blakely Manor. As they approached the mansion, its imposing silhouette loomed against the darkening sky, the broken windows and creeping ivy adding to its ominous appearance. "Are you ready for this?" Mark asked, his voice wavering slightly. "Absolutely," Lisa replied, her determination masking a hint of fear. As they crossed the threshold, a cold draft swept through the hall, and the heavy door creaked ominously behind them. The air inside was thick with the stench of mold and rot, and the dim light from their flashlights revealed dust-covered furniture and cobweb-draped chandeliers. The floorboards groaned under their weight as they ventured further inside. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed through the hall. They turned to see a candlestick fall from a mantelpiece, rolling across the floor of its own accord. Lisa gasped as a chair slid across the room and stopped abruptly in front of them. The overwhelming stench grew stronger, making their eyes water. "Let's keep moving," Mark urged, trying to sound braver than he felt. They explored room after room, each one more unsettling than the last. Shadows seemed to dance on the walls, and they could hear faint, unintelligible whispers. At one point, a mirror shattered without warning, the shards scattering across the floor. The oppressive atmosphere became unbearable, and the two decided to leave. Outside, they took deep breaths of fresh air, their hearts racing. They approached a nearby house and knocked on the door. An elderly woman answered, her eyes widening when she heard where they had been. "You felt it too, didn't you?" she asked. "That house is cursed. Everyone who enters experiences the same horrors. It's been that way for 50 years. Mark and Lisa listened in shock as the elderly woman recounted tales of others who had dared to enter Blakely Manor. She spoke of numerous incidents, each one more harrowing than the last. One story involved a group of thrill-seekers who had ventured into the house on a dare, only to be driven out in sheer terror when they witnessed furniture rearranging itself in front of their eyes. Another tale told of a couple who had gone inside to explore, only to be overwhelmed by a pungent, nauseating odor that seemed to follow them from room to room, as if the house itself was breathing down their necks. The woman described how the oppressive atmosphere of the house could make even the bravest individuals feel as if they were suffocating, the air thick with an unseen but palpable malevolence. The elderly woman went on to explain that Blakely Manor had a dark history that no one could fully understand. Josiah Blakely's mysterious death was only the beginning of the house's macabre legacy. After his death, the mansion changed hands several times, each new owner experiencing misfortune and tragedy. Some claimed that the house was built on cursed land, while others believed that Josiah himself, angry and vengeful, haunted the manor. Over time, the stories grew, each adding to the mansion's fearsome reputation. People spoke of hearing ghostly laughter and mournful wails at night, and of seeing shadowy figures flitting past the windows. The woman herself, though she had never set foot inside, had heard these stories from friends and neighbors, each account adding another layer to the house's sinister aura. Fear, the woman explained, kept Blakely Manor standing as a grim reminder of the unknown. Despite its prime location and once grand architecture, no one dared to buy or even demolish it. Contractors hired to tear it down often quit after just a few days, spooked by unexplained accidents and eerie occurrences. The house remained, an ominous presence that seemed to defy time itself. The locals had come to accept its presence, avoiding it but never forgetting it. For Mark and Lisa, the woman's tales cemented their resolve never to return. They left with a newfound respect for the power of fear and the unknown, understanding that some mysteries were better left unsolved. As they walked away, they felt the weight of the house's dark legacy pressing down on them, a chilling reminder of the horrors they had narrowly escaped and the eerie allure of the macabre that had drawn them in. Returning to campus, Mark and Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed them. Blakely Manor had left its mark on them, a lingering reminder of the dark forces that lurk in the shadows. They vowed never to return, but the memory of that night would haunt them forever, a chilling testament to the power of the unknown and the terror it can bring. In the end, Blakely Manor remained untouched, a symbol of fear and mystery. Its secrets were buried deep within its walls, waiting for the next brave or foolish souls to uncover them. 2. In the late 1970s, the quiet suburban neighborhood of Enfield in North London became the epicenter of one of the most famous poltergeist cases in history. The Hodgson family, consisting of single mother Peggy and her 4 children, Margaret, Janet, Johnny, and Billy, moved into a modest council house, hoping for a fresh start. Little did they know, their new home at 284 Green Street would soon become a site of relentless paranormal activity that would baffle experts and terrify the family. It all began one night in August 1977. Janet, the second eldest, was the first to notice the strange occurrences. Her bed shook violently, waking her in the middle of the night. At first, Peggy dismissed her daughter's claims as mere nightmares. However, it wasn't long before she, too, experienced the unexplainable. Furniture moved on its own, heavy objects were flung across rooms, and an eerie knocking sound seemed to follow them wherever they went. The activity escalated quickly. Voices that did not belong to any member of the family echoed through the house, and the children were often lifted from their beds by unseen forces. Desperate for help, Peggy reached out to neighbors and local authorities. The police officers who responded to the call witnessed a chair move across the floor without any visible cause. This was only the beginning of what would become an extensive investigation into the Enfield poltergeist. Paranormal investigators, including Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair from the Society for Psychical Research, arrived at the scene, determined to uncover the truth behind the disturbances. They set up cameras, recording devices, and other equipment in an attempt to capture evidence of the paranormal activity. What they documented was both fascinating and terrifying. Disembodied voices, levitating objects, and physical assaults on the family members. As the investigation progressed, Janet Hodgson became the primary focus of the paranormal activity within the Enfield house. She would frequently enter trances, during which she spoke in a deep, gravelly voice far beyond her years, claiming to be various entities. One of the most notable was an old man named Bill, whose voice was captured on numerous tape recordings. Paranormal investigators, including Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair, meticulously documented these occurrences. The recordings were analyzed extensively by experts who were baffled by the sheer clarity and consistency of the voices. Despite thorough examinations, including tests to rule out ventriloquism or trickery, no satisfactory explanation for the phenomenon could be found, leaving investigators perplexed and the public captivated. The strange occurrences continued unabated for over a year, turning the Hodgson family's life upside down and drawing significant media attention. Reporters from various newspapers and television channels flocked to the small house in Enfield, eager to witness the events firsthand. Photographs of furniture levitating and accounts of inexplicable noises filled the headlines, fueling widespread fascination and fear. The case sparked heated debates among skeptics and believers alike. Critics accused the Hodgson family of fabricating the events for publicity or financial gain, pointing to potential inconsistencies and the pressure of media scrutiny as possible motives. However, the sheer volume of witnesses, including police officers, journalists, and neighbors, along with the substantial evidence gathered by paranormal investigators, made it difficult to dismiss the case entirely as a hoax. While skepticism persisted, many were convinced of the authenticity of the Enfield poltergeist. The investigators, particularly Gross and Playfair, stood by their findings, emphasizing the genuine fear and distress experienced by the Hodgson family. The voices and physical manifestations of the poltergeist defied conventional explanations, leading some to believe that the family was experiencing a profound and genuine paranormal event. The extensive documentation and the consistency of the phenomena over an extended period provided a compelling case that challenged the boundaries of what was understood about the supernatural. For the Hodgsons, the ordeal left a lasting impact, shaping their lives with a mixture of trauma and resilience. Janet, in particular, would reflect on these events with a complex blend of awe and terror, forever marked by her encounters with the unknown. The Enfield poltergeist case eventually tapered off, leaving the Hodgson family to try and rebuild their lives amidst the lingering fear and trauma. Janet, who had borne the brunt of the poltergeist's wrath, later recounted the events with a mixture of awe and horror. She and her family maintained their story, even as they faced skepticism and scrutiny from the public and media. The house at 284 Green Street remains a symbol of one of the most well-documented and debated paranormal cases in history, continuing to captivate and mystify people around the world. Years later, as the family looked back on those harrowing times, they couldn't shake the feeling that something beyond human comprehension had touched their lives. Despite the terror, they found strength in their unity and resilience. The Enfield poltergeist case remains a chilling reminder of the unknown, challenging our understanding of reality and the boundaries between the seen and unseen. For the Hodgsons, it was a testament to the enduring human spirit, capable of facing the most unimaginable horrors and emerging with their bonds unbroken. Uncover stories that will haunt your dreams and leave you yearning for more, perfect for those dark, stormy nights. Don't miss out. Grab your copy now at Amazon, link in the description of the video, and embark on a journey of pure terror. Check also this video about the best horror stories I've known. Thank you for joining us on this harrowing journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of terror. Until next time, stay safe and beware the shadows.